This week from Los Angeles, we have the former Juventus captain and legend, one of the best defenders of his generation. From Pisa, Italia, LAFC center back, Giorgio Chiellini.
Nice Italian, DK. I love when it works out that our guest interview is also on our sponsor's website. Everybody knows that listens to us. It's 500level.com. They have 16 Giorgio Chiellini products. They have hoodies, they have men's, they have women's, they have long sleeves, crew necks. Go check it out, 500level.com. Get your Chiellini gear, 20% off, discount, everything on the site with the code ONESTAR, DK. Check it out, 500level.com. Let's go!
Ciao, sono Giorgio Chiellini, è un vero piacere essere qui con voi in questo podcast e spero che vi sia piaciuto.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast. I'm DK, joined with my best friend of 25 years, Rip. As fate would have it, I had 2 cavities filled yesterday. I got hit with the Novocaine. Woke up this morning, 2 holes found in my Hokas, at the bottom of my Hokas. I'm going to need new running shoes. It's a holy start to the week for your boy, Rip. And then I hop on this podcast and you say, what a day it's been. I got to get my kids to the dentist office. It's just it's a holy week. It's a way to start the week, Rip. It's just been firing on all angles. What do you think, man? New Hokas? Is that the play, or should I get new running shoes?
I'm a Hoka lifer at this point. I just got a new pair. You're supposed to replace your running shoes like every 6 months or something like that, depending on how much you run. But I just got a new pair of Hokas, so I say roll with it. I know you like the shoes. I don't like that they got holes in them, but that means you're putting some wear and tear in them. So I say get some new ones.
Full year and a half. You turned me on. I'm going to stick with them. I'm going to stick with my black ones too. I'll get black and gold. LAFC, North End, stand up. It's one of the liveliest MLS support groups in the league, Rip. Do you know about section 3252?
I don't. I live 20 minutes from that stadium. I've never been to a game, but I'm excited to get out there. I know our guy Alonzo in media relations at LAFC invited us out to a game, so I'm ready, DK. Give me a press pass at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And this section is on the north side of the arena. And it's wild. It's the closest on the West Coast that you're going to get. And a lot of Timbers fans may challenge this. Maybe some of you fans in Austin who have really great support groups there may challenge this take. But this 3250 true kind of section, which, by the way, represents the number of seats in that section. A couple rules. You got to stay on your feet the whole time. I actually don't even think there's seats, and I'm not even lying. Alonzo might have to confirm that, Rip, on your next trip. If there's actually seats in that section, they're on their feet the whole time. If you don't know the chants, you're out of here. They don't even mess around. It's like, if you don't know what you're ready, if you don't know what you're in for, you can't sit in that section. So real deal, but flares, flags, all the stuff that you see in Europe a little bit, you have a taste of LA right there. So on the flip side, beyond that section, which is also family friendly, Rip, so you can take the kids there, tons of stuff for the kids to do. And we talk about it all the time on this podcast. A way for families to save money and not go out to Disneyland and spend $800 or go to a Clippers game and it's a quick $650. So a way to get out with the family for a couple $100 and really have a wonderful time. So the $1 million question, Rip, when are you going? When are you taking the family?
Well, I'm going to get some heat for this from LAFC fans, but I did take my kid to his first MLS game last year. It was at the LA Galaxy Stadium down in Carson. And it was a great atmosphere. I mean, these MLS teams are doing it right. I know we had Real Madrid and AC Milan run through Los Angeles in the last month, and they're starting to play in the U.S. a lot more. The Premier League teams, DK, these teams are doing it right. The atmosphere is amazing. They got music, they got the strobe lights, they got all of it, and it's also they're packed in to a stadium that seats like 20 to 25,000. So it's not, you're not overflowing with people, although they do those. We talk about the Rose Bowl game that Giorgio played in a couple weeks ago. I give it a 5 stars, DK. It's a good night to get out and support MLS teams in your area if you can do it. And dude, we got Messi. What more do I need to say? Get Inter Miami tickets when they're coming to your town.
And a lot of people here in the United States say, oh, soccer. Yeah. Like, what am I going to go out for that for? And it's kind of become this jokish thing where even when you're in Europe or someplace else, you don't get it. You don't understand. slowly but surely we're being shown the ways through some of these teams, and LAFC is one of those particular teams. Rip, the kids are starting to get into soccer more again. It kind of is a cyclical thing, you know. Sports become cool and then uncool pretty quickly. Well, guess what kids are doing again? Lots more soccer. So we'll see. What you got your kids, you got your youngest playing soccer too, Rip?
Hey, we're one stars DK, and we had a 1-star moment, basically a 1-star season with my youngest. He's 4, and he played in the youngest division of AYSO last year. And man, if he wasn't, the problem was DK, he was not wanting to get on the field at all. I think we went through like a 10-game season. This is 4-year-olds.
So he just does the Medusa. So he's there in his jersey. You're coaching. Are you as a parent?
No, and this is the other thing is one of our friends, one of his friends in his class, the mother was coaching, so she kind of got the kids together from the class to get on the team. And of course, he's the one that wants to sit there and have the snack. And so we played 10 games, probably what is that, 60 minutes each, was a 600 minutes throughout the season. He was probably on the field for like 45 minutes out of 600. He was the kid who did not want to mix it up. Wanted to eat his snack, literally ate his snack and watched his teammates play. And I'm giving him pep talks like, you're letting your teammates down. You got to get in there and support them. They're a man short and all this and that. But total 1-star soccer experience. I can't even look at the mom at school anymore because I think she just lost all respect for us as parents. Good thing is he loved t-ball. He loved baseball. So we moved on past soccer. But hey, any tips to get him in the mix in soccer are welcome in this house.
Well, I think for all the Italians out there for listening, thank you for tuning in. You'll recognize this is probably just an American thing. Tack this up to just being an American kid. And you know what, Rip? The good news, he's preparing to eat popcorn and hot dogs and watch sports with you. So you're probably setting him up more for a realistic life to be a good fan and supporter versus being a star player. Would you agree with that? And that's probably more American than anything else.
That's so true. And with my genes, like he's got a way better chance of being a supporter and a fan than an actual player anyway. So, hey, we tried. We tried.
You tried, but I encourage parents who have children like this too to even lean in a little bit more. If they like doing the snacks more, let them take control of the snack menu. Maybe dish out the snacks. Maybe help prepare them. Maybe you have a chef on your hands. You don't know about it. Maybe an event coordinator at a young age, possibly. Rip, food for thought.
He could change the game when it comes to the cuisine at soccer games or tailgating or anything. I mean, yeah, that culinary is probably more up his alley anyway.
There you go, Rip. See, so all kinds of opportunities within that, but it's blowing up is the bottom line. Speaking of, it's nice to have an Italian guest on. A lot of listeners out there may know, may not know. My wife's fully Italian, 100% Italian, which is very cool for me. Very amazing family ties, loves pasta, all the good stereotypes, all the stereotypes of being fiery and passionate and intense, also true. But she's from the beautiful city of Lucca, which we've been out to a couple of times, Rip. It's positioned really close to Pisa, which is Giorgio's hometown. So you fly into Florence. Have you been to Italy, Rip, at all?
Never. Never.
Isn't it on your list? Aren't you going somewhere soon?
I'm going to France next year, but yeah, Italy is probably next European trip will hit Italy.
France, yes, that's right. Frances, you're headed to. I forget about that. You told me like 4 years ago. Rip plans listeners very early for his trips, and I forget because you're an early planner of that. But you fly into Florence, Rip. If you guys do decide to go to this area, it's in northern Italy, and then usually drive out. It's great for day trips, so more people will do this as a day trip. But I actually proposed to Kimmy 10 years ago in Cinque Terre, which is just outside of Pisa, just outside. It's in that kind of Italian Riviera area. Rigomatori. I probably butchered that, but it's Rigomatori in Cinque Terre. Holy shit, bro. Holy shit. It's just a little ferry boat town, just a mix of like narrow streets and staircases and tons of color. You've seen it. You've seen it on the internet. It's probably screensaver somewhere, But it's very nice. You hop off a train, you kind of take this walk down, grab yourself. What do I remember getting? The food was so good. It was like a wok of food. I think it was like a cone filled with fried fish and lemon. Just walk with that. Grab yourself a little focaccia on the way, a little fluffy, brownie-sized focaccia. Take it down. Anyway, we got to the bottom of the beach, and I proposed to her with a belly full of focaccia and prosciutto and love in my heart. My knees dug into some really unexpectedly pointy rocks. If anybody plans on following this proposal technique, Rip, very hard rocks. So I did not plan that in advance. I mean, hard to keep a good face, like glass, it felt like in my lower kneecaps. But she said yes, and it was nice and very romantic. So very nice. On that same trip, we went to Pisa. You have any questions, Rip, about my proposal? This is my first time on the pod, I think, talking about that Italy trip.
No, I'll tie it together for me because you asked Giorgio a question in his interview about Disneyland and his experience at Disneyland. And that's actually where I proposed to my wife. So we got a couple 1-star proposal stories. I love it. And, Italy is all about romance. So I love the tie-in. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, so it's tied in right there. And that same week, the next day, I went to Pisa. So Giorgio's hometown. So bring it all together. So most people think of what, Rip? What do you think of? The Leaning Tower of Pisa? Is that what you think of?
I think of pizza.
Yeah, I think of pizza too. Yeah, that's right, dude. I think of pizza too. So my memory is, so Pisa sits on this river. God, what's the name? The Armo River, the Armano River. I think Arno River. Winston, look up the river that it sits on. Really pretty. And what I like about Pisa the most, I think I could be wrong on this, but it feels like it goes a very slow tempo just of a town. It's like the Tracy McGrady of Italian cities or the Kyle Anderson of the Riviera. Very bellissimo, very chill. So you just walk. It's kind of Hawaiian style to think of, actually, now that I think about it, because Florence is pretty fast, bro. Florence is pretty quick moving town, and those other big cities in Italy. Anyway, pizza. Oh, yes. So there's some piazzas, the pizza. I have an actual spot, dude. I had to look on my camera, and I pulled it up here when we were there. It was this pizzeria called Funacula. It was right on the riverbank. It was traditional. And it was just amazing. Just great crust, fresh toppings. It was a small place. They bring out the delicious melon that's fresh, wrapped in prosciutto. Just amazing. And then you sip on some Tuscan wine, Rip. I mean, it's heaven on earth for like a slow moving, chill place. I get it why Giorgio is kind of such a chill guy, because he's from a pretty relaxed town. Pretty amazing, like ideal dream summer date place. So put it on your itinerary, Rip. What flavor of gelato are you getting, Rip? If you had to manifest this, what flavor sitting on the river with your lovely wife? What flavor are you going to be eating?
Salted caramel all the way.
Oh yeah, you always are salted caramel. No questions asked.
You can never go wrong with that flavor. Salted caramel, 100%. Never had a bad experience with that one.
Pisa, Italy. Stand up. Enjoy this interview with legend Giorgio Chiellini. Now joining the One Star Recruits podcast, we have a husband, a father, a native of Pisa, Italy, a center back for the Los Angeles Football Club, Giorgio Chiellini. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
Thank you very much. Everything's good, thank you. Could be better for the last result, but for the rest of the life, everything is very good.
As is life as a footballer. I'll tell you what, though, the crowd was amazing. Listeners, he's fresh off of a sellout here in front of 80,000 fans who packed the Rose Bowl for the El Tráfico between LAFC and the LA Galaxy. Giorgio, how was the energy from the famous Pasadena Rose Bowl?
Amazing environment. I was very happy, and I think that that is something that we have to do more times because there is a lot of fans in US. We have to organize more matches like this one in this fantastic stadium in order also to show how MLS is growing up, how the soccer is followed. And I was very happy, and I'm very happy to be a part of this show.
You're a huge part of it. And I'm being in LA. It's something that all the families and friends that we're around is talking about it. It's the funnest game experience that people have. Not only are they learning a new sport, but it's so interactive and fun. And I highly recommend everybody check it out. Giorgio, you use the word enjoy. I hear you say it a lot since moving to LA. One of your teammates, Acosta, he said, sometimes it's hard to believe that he's, 45 years old. How much fun are you having with this team? And are you enjoying every moment?
And the words I used with my teammates right before the game was the same, was enjoy this environment, enjoy our fans, enjoy this moment, because not happened so many times we are lucky to be a part of this game, and then enjoy and try to do the best. Unfortunately, we lost at the end. We did a not good first half. The second was much better. We would like to give something more to our fans because they deserve it. But if I'm a neutral people that come to the match, it was a very, very beautiful and exciting moment.
It was excellent. It was an experience, and I know all we want the result to be a win. Obviously, you're a competitive athlete your whole career. But besides the final offering, as when this sport is growing, I think it's just important to love it and enjoy it and have a good time. And I know everybody out there did. I want to talk a little bit about the team right now that you're on. We're a little bit halfway through the MLS season. Your squad is sitting right near the top of the Western Conference standings. How do you expect them to perform in the second half and try to get to that second straight MLS Cup?
We started very well. Now we are struggling a little bit because of tiredness after got Champions League final. We spent a lot of energy for that goals. Have some injuries also because of lot games in a row. Then I think we are in a good position, in the position we expected and hope at the beginning of the year. And I think that we are looking forward to a very good second part of the season. I think that after middle of August, when the season we will be ready to win the West. This is our goal first. Win the
Ready
West.
to win. Yes. Maybe a Inter Miami meeting, maybe people want in the future, but we'll keep that in the future. You know, I have an interesting. Go ahead. You have any thoughts on Messi coming over? Is that exciting for you? Do you not think about that? Are you focused on your own team?
I didn't expect. I'm very happy about it because I was one of the first that believe in this league and believe in the growing of this league. And if you listen or read a lot of my interview from last year, it's always the same thing. There is the possibility to grow up, and then we have to keep this moment and not wait, because the moment is now. It's not in 3, 5, or 10 years. It's now. And for sure, Messi helped us a lot for thousands of reasons. I'm very happy about it. He will play in the East, but probably will play against the beginning of September for the regular season, and also it's good for us, for the fans here. Everyone is looking forward to watch Messi playing. It's a step. I think it's a huge step that will be remembered for many times, but I think is a start, not to be an end, but a start for this league to continue to grow up.
Another step. I think
invest. Now Messi is a milestone for this league, but now has to attract more investment and more player, and hopefully younger than when we are right now.
Yes. Preach, Giorgio. Yes, and you are a founder too. We'll put you up there on the Mount Rushmore of MLS footballers who believed. What's interesting about you, and I want to talk to some of our younger football players out here. A lot of people love fancy ball handling, scoring goals, game-winning PKs. You, on the other hand, love defending. You didn't begin your career as a defender. In fact, I think you started out as a creative midfield player. But for young players out there who want to be defenders, 2 parts. What is your mindset to be the best defender when you're on the pitch? And what drill would you recommend young footballers practice as a defender every single day?
I was not a creative midfielder, to be honest, but a good runner midfielder at really beginning of my career until 12, and then start to play on the edge from 12 to 21 almost, playing sometimes as a center back, but in 3, not really, just in 2. And after 21, 22, play all my career as center back. And when I start to play in that position, I start to feel better from the first time. Some suggestion for the young generation: contact, love the contact. Now we are missing the contact with the forwards. Now the defender has to be clean and has to pay attention. I think that the right contact with the forward, with the opponent striker, is a good start. Try to study, understand before what the opponent likes to do, and try to avoid them. Try to put the movement of the striker in not in his best quality, but in favor of you. Then
Yes.
we have to try. I always try to permit the movement in which I'm better, and not permit the movement in which in which I have a weakness. This is a start, and then study, try to improve yourself every day, work with passion, be humble. Small things that can help to reach out your maximum. Your maximum could be 1, 2, 10, or 100. We don't know. But in order to improve, when I was 15, I think it was not predictable that I could be one of the leaders of CAPS in Juventus, national team, all this stuff. It was very difficult watching to that players and believe in it. But if you knew me as a person, you would be sure that I reached my maximum. And I still trying to do it and to improve at 40 years old, for sure, not physically, but technically, mentally. And yeah, I came last year and I started to study these leagues very well in order to not be surprised when I start to play. And now it's the same. I continue to study my game and the opponent games in order to perform better as possible.
It's amazing advice. Same thing Tom Brady would say, or any of the greats. You focus on your strengths and improve on your weaknesses, and you study and you're prepared. That's phenomenal advice. Speaking of adapting and changing and learning new things, how is your family? You have 2 daughters, you have a wife who are adapting now to a new lifestyle, language, move in sunny California. How has that been for the overall family? You're kind of changing a lot of your roots that you had back home in Europe.
So the first month was really tough, because it's completely different. Not just for the language, for the babies especially. I have 2 daughters now. They are 8 and 4 years old. At the beginning, was not so easy because the smallest one, she didn't speak English and she didn't understand nothing. But she also was easier because at the end she doesn't need to learn very well English, but her way of playing is much more with facts and not talks. But now after 1 year, she's very happy and everything's good. The oldest one at the beginning was not so easy because she studied English a little bit, but not comparable to arrive and being in a class here in LA. Some girls kidding her at the beginning. Then 7 years is not a good age for that part. I think that after they arrived in the middle of August, the school started in September. Nina, the oldest one, got COVID after 1 week of school. Then was the first month was really tough. After January became much better. We are very happy to be here. My wife also, we started to have some relationship here, some new friends. Then different way of life. We have spent a lot of time together, and then and it is very important. I have to say thank you to all the people from the club that welcomed me and my family, helped us a lot. It was very important because it was a huge move.
Whole city of LA, and it is tough to travel with youngsters. I think you're doing a brilliant thing, though. I love the idea of bringing children around to grow and learn and take in new cultures. And that English is for young kids. Everything happens so fast, so they'll learn in no time. I need some advice actually from you. My wife Kimmy is from Lucca, Italy, near your hometown of Pisa. We've been happily married now for 10 years. I know that you've been happily married to Carolina. I need some relation advice at this stage for being married to a very passionate, fiery Italian woman. She's pretty much in charge. Is that how it is in your house?
In my house, in every house, when the difficult stuff, and when I arrive at your home, you are not Chiellini, you are not the player, you are not maybe travel 3 or 4 hours. You are the Giorgio, the husband, the dad, and the family is waiting for you. and like everyone is very troubled to find sometimes the energy because you are tired or something there to consider them as they deserve. I think we are living this experience very well. I dreamed it a lot. It was not easy, but I'm very happy because it's happening. We miss our family. We miss some friends from Italy. We miss something, but we are really living an incredible experience. I love to learn new culture. I love this type of life in LA in which you can meet a lot of culture that they live all together with a lot of respectful, much more than in Italy, to be honest. And I'm very happy that my girls are learning that.
Amazing. We're happy to have you here. I'm going to talk LA. We're going to finish this off here. We end every interview with a segment we call 1 star to 5 star. Just give us a rating here. We're 1 stars. We're trying to get better with advice from 5 stars like yourself. So I'm going to throw some things at you, Giorgio, that are LA based. You tell me 1 to 5 stars. You ready? Okay. 1 to 5 stars, Giorgio. The Italian food in LA. I know you love N10 on the West Side. Everybody knows that. But what's some of your favorite restaurants since moving to LA?
There are a very good Italian restaurant in West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and also all over the city. If I have to pick one, Osteria Angelini in Beverly Boulevard.
Oh, great answer. Delicious. Okay, some more quick hitters. You tell me 1 to 5 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 stars. Disneyland. Have you been there with your family?
Yeah, 5 stars.
Ooh, 5 stars. What's your favorite ride?
My favorite ride is the Incredible ride. Yeah.
A great one. A great one. Any snacks at Disneyland that you love?
Popcorn.
Nice.
Next.
Great answer. 1 to 5 stars. NBA game. Have you been yet to an NBA game? 1 to 5 stars.
5. I love that. I went both to Clippers and Lakers game. I enjoyed a lot the playoffs. I love NBA and very nice experience.
Great experience. Giorgio, are you a Lakers or a Clippers fan?
If I have to pick, Lakers.
Lakers, of course. Everybody loves the Lakers here.
I had a Kobe Bryant shirt and pants and shorts, and I loved him a lot. Loved him a lot.
Loved him a lot. Lots of Italians love Kobe. He's had so much connection back to Italy. Let me ask you this, 1 to 5 stars. Traffic in LA. The 405 is not the Autostrada A6, Giorgio. 1 through 5 stars. Traffic in LA.
1 star.
Yeah, good man.
No
Very
stars.
different.
Maybe not stars. It's very different. At the end, you leave your neighborhood from Monday to Friday. And if you have a little bit of time, you can go out of your neighborhood just on Saturday, Sunday, because during the week is almost impossible. And fortunately, I go just from work from the performance facility to home, back and forth, and that's it. And the school is close. I found a house close to the school.
Good. Good. You've set yourself up for success. 2 more. You have an MBA. You've learned so much about the LA market in just the year you've been there, but interest rates are so high, making the housing market iffy. On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, how good of an investment is Los Angeles real estate right now?
I think it's between 4 and 5. The problem is started too high price too. It's so expensive.
It's crazy.
I think will be at the same a good investment, but yeah, so it's much more expensive also than what I expect.
Yeah, it's crazy prices. The entire coastline of the state of California, very expensive, but the weather is worth it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, everybody wants to come here.
Everybody wants to be here. You can't put a price tag on beautiful weather and culture and fun stuff going on. You're 38. You're still doing your thing. You said you've been thinking a bit about next year, but you also live in the moment. You're a live in the moment type of guy. 1 to 5 stars as a future of being a football manager, either in Europe or the MLS.
I would like to work, in the management, not as a coach. I did a economic degree, but yeah, for sure, I would like to stay in our world, in soccer, and we'll see. I am open to all the opportunity and very happy to be here. And we stay with the family 1 more year, and I don't know. We'll see. Step by step.
See. We live in the moment. Hey, Giorgio, look, we are so happy that you joined us on this podcast. All the listeners, go follow Giorgio at Chiellini. I'm going to spell it Chiellini on Twitter, on Instagram. You can find out everything you need to know at the website, GiorgioChiellini.com. Giorgio, you're a legend, one of the best defenders of our generation, and our first football guest on this podcast. Thank you so much for being on our show.
I'm proud of it. I'm so proud. I want to say thank you to you, to all the LA community, because me and my family are very happy, and I have to say thank you to your welcoming.
You're very welcome, sir. Thank you for being a part of the MLS and being a part of our society. And we are totally honored to have you here showing us the way of how to be a great defender in a professional football league.
Thank you very much.
Special thanks again to the LAFC Media Relations Department and, of course, Giorgio Chiellini, Italian soccer star and center back for the LAFC squad, DK. Hey, and kudos to you. You know, everyone knows one-star recruits. There's no me without you. There's no you without me. But I was on vacation in Mexico. You took this one 100%. It was all you, DK. Our first solo interview, I believe, in 160 or whatever episodes. How'd it feel, man? Were you nervous? How'd it feel going at it alone?
No, all good, man. We trained well, and yeah, that's what it's all about. Consistency, doing this every week, and yeah, man. I'll listen back and I'll be hard on myself, just like I am every interview. And I wish I would have slowed down and listened more and asked better follow-up questions. But what I am proud of is that we kept it going. That's what we talked about. We're gonna do this every single week, and we continue on trucking, man. Really good stuff. Have you been watching the Women's World Cup in New Zealand at all?
I didn't see the first game. As a 3-0 win against Vietnam. That was expected, but we got a bigger one against the Netherlands coming up. And I believe it's a rematch from 2019, the last World Cup. The Netherlands is a powerhouse. So this is the first test for the squad, DK.
Big time. I think Nick B, listeners are saying, where's Nick B been? We haven't heard from him. As we know, he's the wealthiest man that we know. I think he might be in New Zealand. One of his stepdaughters plays soccer. She's very good. There's a good possibility Nick B is in Auckland right now, Rip. Very good possibility.
There's a better possibility he's probably somewhere along the banks of the Colorado River getting his suntan on in his private villa. But either way, he's probably watching that game for sure.
Big river episode. Nick B's on the Colorado River. Pisa sits on the river. All kinds of river talk going on. The bottom line for me is my one-star moment almost involves a river. It was an unfounded river. Listeners, we do every week one-star moments of the week. Anything that is just one star in life. Anything that was just a moment in time you'd like to have back. Something embarrassing. We all have them. We talk about them. Speaking of love and outings with our spouses, Kimmy and I actually had a very lovely day trip up to the city of Pukalani, the town of Pukalani in Maui, for a nice hike. We're going to go find a river, get some lunch. It's where the river comes into play. We decided to go on the way back and hit a food truck spot in Kihei on the way home. By the way, the best food truck park ever. Just to give you a taste of the flavor of this particular food truck park, you walk in, you have a vegan Mexican place, you have an Indian food place, a Canadian food truck. The first time I've ever seen a Canadian food truck, and it's in Hawaii, which is pretty awesome. You get a burger place, an Argentinian sandwich place, a dumpling place, a wing place, a Thai place. You know what I'm saying, Rip? It's quality. Every one you're like, dang, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good rundown for a food park.
That's a huge selection.
Everything's really good there too. I'm making my way through it. Actually, I'm going to tie my recommendation of the week into my one-star moment because I've been going to this food truck more to try to go to every truck. That's what I'm doing right now. So back to the one-star moment. So we order the chicken sandwiches from the Wing King en route so we could avoid a long wait. Usually there's long wait for these wings, very good wings. So we do that online. Upon the drive up, I decide that I'm going to hop in early and go pick up some pad thai and a Thai iced tea for dinner that night. Double down, lunch and dinner combo. Just reheat it, genius idea. So I hop out. I get my Thai iced tea. I'm waiting. I'm like, oh, I forgot my bag. my reusable bag that I'm going to put the food in to walk back to the car. So I go. Kimmy has popped out with our 2 animals, our 2 dogs, and she's kind of in the middle of this food park. And so I go to do the handoff with a Thai iced tea. She doesn't accept. And it's fair because she has 2 dogs, and our dogs are not good at food trucks. You know, Rip, you can imagine small dogs. They're acting like fools. So I go say, I'm going to get the bag. So I get the bag. I get distracted to my left from my left-hand side of free poo bags. Here's another thing about being a dog owner. Whenever you see free poo bags, it's very hard to just pass them by. Is that correct with you too? Always grab a couple and put them in your pocket.
100%. Yeah, because you never would know when your dog, especially old dogs, are going to just take a dump right there.
You never know. And you always it's just a thing. Oh, free dog bags. I'm going to do it. So I see it out of the corner of my eye. I'm holding my Thai iced tea. Dog owners are going to feel me on this one because I knew I should have walked away from this immediately. I didn't. I kept moving forward, and I went to go get them. I put my Thai iced tea in kind of a upper Heisman position, like I'm protecting my head from being hit a little bit, and I go to pull the bags. It's not a clear pull. I start pulling. I start getting 5 or 6. It's too many bags, Rip. People are watching me. There's eyes on me. I don't want to look like I'm taking 10 bags. So I go to do the pull. Doesn't pull. It pulls more bags. So I got to take my iced tea hand that's holding them, hold the end of the poo bags to separate, to break them off. Are you with me? You know what I mean?
I can see the disaster coming already.
Yeah, you can see it. And the top of the Thai iced tea is just a normal top with a straw in it. Thai iced tea, listeners, is like a iced tea with super heavy cream and I think red clay. Something makes it red in the iced tea deliciously. As I learned, not good for skin. I pull, the bags come out, the iced tea flows not only just on me, all over my face, all over my shirt, all over me. And it's kind of red. I don't even have the balls to turn around and see who's watching me. I can feel eyeballs on me. Not even from my wife. I think she moved on with the dogs. These are just standard food truck patrons who got to witness me just blast of Thai iced tea all over my face and all over my chest. So I just walk of shame back to the car. My golf bag's in the trunk. Take my shirt off. Wipe down with an old towel that did not smell like, probably an animal towel. Probably just not should have been used on my face, on my pores. And luckily in my golf bag, I had my rain jacket, which is like this big hoodie, and it's 88 degrees in Hawaii. And I still have to go find my wife and pick up the Thai food. So I go on in and I do the walk of shame, and I could feel eyes on me, and I get to my wife, and sure enough, it looks like you dunked my face in a tanning bed. She said, "What the hell happened to you?" And I'm mad. And I'm like, I stubbed my toe mad. Like I'm mad at myself, but I'm mad at everything leading up to it. And I proceeded to pick up my food. We had a laugh. The Thai food ladies that tie me up had a good laugh. Gave me a little wet rag to wipe my face off. Big laugh was had. And came home and had my chicken sandwich, and later had my chicken pad thai. 1-star moment. There you go.
Did they replace the Thai iced tea on the house?
No, and I was over it at this point in time. The Thai iced tea was a catalyst to my stub my toe moment. I thought I was doing an awesome little treat for Kimmy. Turns out she didn't even want it. Turns out I didn't even want it. It's like heavy cream. I'm minorly lactose. I was trying to do a treat that nobody wanted. Guess what? That's just bad communication. So just a little bit of the gods telling me to slow down a little bit, all right, in life, and just stick to the game plan. Communicate a little better.
Yeah, nothing like a Thai iced tea facial on a date night, DK. The 5-star move would have been to put it on the ground and use both hands to rip the poop bag off. But hey, you live and you learn, man.
Yeah, so dumb. I knew it was happening. It's like a slow motion 1-star moment disaster, and I couldn't stop myself. It was like a scab. I was just ready to be ripped off. I couldn't stop it. Anyway, what do you got?
So last week, my wife and kids flew up north to visit family on Thursday night. The plan was I'm going to drive up Friday and we'd all drive back together. So they flew Thursday night. We didn't want to subject the kids to 2 long car rides within like 3 days. So all that meant is I got Thursday night at home by myself, no kids, no wife. I'm like, man, it's party time. Got a couple beers, this and that. And so right after I drop them off at the airport, about 4:30, of course, an email comes in from work, this urgent email. Some stuff needs to be set up on one of our websites that I work for. And, it's urgent. Do it in the morning, whatever. My boss is like, make this a priority first thing tomorrow morning. She doesn't want us to work after hours, whatever. So, I assessed the situation and I said, I'm just going to do this tonight. I got nothing to do. My wife and kids are gone. So what I ended up doing with my free night, DK, I worked for about 3.5 hours, the normal work that I should have done the next morning. But I did it for two reasons. The first reason is because obviously I had the time and the freedom to do it that night. The second reason is I didn't want to make Friday morning stressful, but between packing and getting ready to drive up there and having all this work to do. So I knocked it out that night. It actually worked out work-wise and stress-wise. It helped me a lot for Friday and helped me get set up with everything I needed to do. But the real one-star moment was I had one free night. I probably get one free night a year to myself, and I spent it working at 3 to 4 hours of work. So that was my one-star moment of the week.
True American. Rip, you're living the American dream across all borders. For all of our Italian listeners, they're like, damn, what an American. Overworking himself. Kids just want to stay on the sidelines and eat snacks. He's following all the stereotypes. Rip, you're hitting them all.
That's what it is. I could have went to an LAFC game that night, but I ended up working.
What would have you have done with your 2 beers and your night of fun? When you think of a night of fun, describe that to the listeners. What comes next after that anyway?
I did get a pint of Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia, and I ate the whole pint, so that made me happy. I probably would have just watched a couple episodes of Succession because I'm almost caught up. I mean, I'm almost finished with the show. I'm on season 4, so that didn't happen. I have to put it off to another day. But
that was your night of fun. Yeah, that was your night of fun. It's not like you've got a couple beers and then it's gonna be I'm
still in bed by like 10:30.
Yeah, so let's not get it twisted here. Well, Rip, 1 star to you for being as Americana as it gets, working on your day off, Rip. You know what that sounds like? A country song. I'll be working on my day off. Giorgio Chiellini.
All right, that's that might be your 1-star moment of the week next week. That little tune right there.
Giorgio Chiellini.
You got a recommendation of the week for me this week? Recommendation of the week?
Oh yeah, speaking of Kihei, so I found the coolest little thing, the coolest technology for my golf addiction that was brought to me at a very average golf course in the city of Kihei, South Maui, that has made me add it to my weekly go-to. So every week now I've been going out there, which hence leads to me going into this particular food truck and being a fatty. And it's the driving range at this golf course called Maui Nui, very average golf course. On Mondays, locals can get on for $20. I do not really go for the golf course as much as I go for the driving range, because it's powered by a technology called Top Tracer. So golfers out there, every stall in the driving range is equipped with a screen, and it tracks every ball that is hit. So if you've been to a Top Golf, it's similar to that. You can kind of pick your games, pick your things, and see where the ball's going. It's just done in Maui, outdoor, on a driving range. And it takes a very D- level driving range and quickly makes it a B+, A-, because you can really work on your distance. And golfers out there know that this is a better way to practice. What you can do, Rip, is you can basically play, like I'll play 18 holes at St. Andrews Golf Course virtually. So I'm practicing hitting my different clubs more realistically, driver to 7-iron to wedge versus 20 hits of each. So it's a better way to practice. It's super fun. And it's a way to be interactive with the driving range that really has me minorly addicted to practicing golf, which is a good thing. So my recommendation of the week is look on. It's not in every city, but they're in a lot of cities, Rip. If you want to look at Top Tracer, that's like TOPTRACER. You can look at that to see if it's in your city. And if not, go there. For all you super amateurs who maybe don't want to go to a driving range at a golf course experience, just run the Top Golf experience. It's kind of the same thing, because at least you get to know where your ball's going, how things are being hit. If you really want to work on a distance, you can figure out a distance much easier in this type of environment. So that's my rec. What do you got?
Hey, I just looked that up. Toptracer.com is the website if you want to find out more info. DK, I think I sent you this in our group text with Shooting 2 earlier this week, and I think everybody ignored it, but it's going to be my recommendation of the week anyway. If you haven't seen it yet, everyone's been obsessed with these grids. It's kind of like a Wordle for sports knowledge. If everyone knows the sports sites, Football Reference, Basketball Reference, Baseball Reference. So they started this game. It's called Immaculate Grids. It started with baseball, and then they added basketball and football. And it's amazing, DK. It's like a 5-minute game every day. There's 9 spaces in a grid, and you match up like 2 different teams, and you have to figure out a player who's played at some point for both of those teams before. That's the number one goal. And then there's other categories like over 90% free throw shooter from the Hawks or something like that. So you have to figure out someone in the past in NBA history that's been on the Hawks and shot over 90% free throws in a season. So you get the picture. It's called Immaculate Grids. It's immaculategrids.com. There's also Hoop Grids. It's hoopgrids.com. It's fun, DK. Share it with your friends. See who can get a better score. I've only solved one baseball one. I think I've solved a few basketball and football ones, but check it out. It's a fun game of kind of like just basketball player trivia from the past.
Who's better, you or comedian Adam Lamb? I see you guys posting on Twitter. You guys make money? Is there money made on that, or is it just for fun?
There's no money. It's totally for fun to test just your basketball, football, baseball
So
knowledge.
who's more knowledgeable, you or comedian Adam Lamb?
TBD on that, because he's been challenging me the last couple of days. I haven't got to today's. I'm gonna try it later, but I think I definitely have him in baseball 100% because he's not a baseball guy, but he's a great trivia player, you know, in any facet of life, and I think he's probably got me by a nose in basketball and football, but I'm gonna keep challenging him. That's for sure.
All right, it's kind of a cop-out answer. I know he's kind of like a mid-level movie knowledge. He thinks he knows a lot, but once you peel back the onion, it's pretty thin movie knowledge. You know, lots of Sylvester Stallone flicks and then sitcoms you never heard of. But I see you posting Adam Lamb. You know, saw an Adam Keefe. I think I saw Adam Keefe come up in your feed a couple times. Keefe's Treats. What else we got, Rip? Anything else? Are you gonna ever swing a golf club here, Rip? Are you gonna ever do a Top Golf experience with the family? Is it gonna happen this summer? You keep saying it. I'm gonna keep asking you. I want you to try it.
It's not gonna be this summer because I haven't got, but it's gonna happen whenever I can get my kids into a golf camp. This summer's just been too crazy, but it's in the works in the future once they get a little bit older. And that I already know that's what's gonna spur me to start golf.
Heard it here first. Hit the music, Rip. I have some news for you. All right, Rip. The Gilgo Beach murderer has been caught. Question that the listeners want to know is if you worked with this Gilgo Beach murderer, who a lot of people say looks like the guy, the dad and Family Dad, would you have known he's a serial killer?
Yes, if you are, especially if you work closely with this guy and you can't tell something's off. Like, I mean, I'm so tired of people saying, oh, he just seemed like a regular person, a regular neighbor. The guy had like a soundproof room in his basement. I mean, you got to see through these things. Just be aware, people. You should know this guy should have been caught way earlier. So based off a tip from somebody. Come on, people.
Joe Biden's dog, Commander, has bitten 7 people since being in the White House. What's your tips to stop dogs from biting?
It's all treats. You got to have treats in your pocket at all times, treats on your person. No dog is going to bite you if you give him a treat, DK. That's so if you got an extra pocket on you, put a dog treat in it. It'll save your life.
Milk bones in your pockets. How often in a normal day are milk bones in your pockets out of 7 days a week?
0, but I'm worried about it if I come across some pit bulls if I don't have any milk bones. What might happen?
IRS stops unannounced in-person visits. Have you ever been audited, and who does get audited?
I think the IRS doesn't have the manpower. They only have the manpower to audit like, 0.0001% of the population. And from what I know, it's mostly like super rich, super wealthy people that are finding the loopholes and also, responsible for paying a lot of the taxes. So I've never been audited. I do worry about it a little bit every year, but I'm on the up and up, DK. They're not going to find anything in my background.
Las Vegas Raiders sign Marcus Peters. Cornerbacks. Do they fall off a ledge like running backs at a certain age, or do they last longer?
They definitely fall off a ledge, especially after like an ACL injury or just hitting that age of 35 or whatever. They lose a step at some point. It happens to everybody. It happened to Champ Bailey. It happened to Darrelle Revis. Marcus Peters would probably be a good nickel guy at this point. but it definitely happens to them. They still get big money though.
Fantasy football around the corner. People are pretty set. They have a good idea. What rounds, if any, do you see Anthony Richardson and CJ Stroud going?
I think late rounds, like you never know what rookie quarterback, especially one that with running capability, is going to bust out, like a Lamar Jackson or a Patrick Mahomes. But I think they'll both go in the late rounds. You can probably looking at round 13, 14. No one's going to take them as their starting quarterback, but if you want to be quarterback, like a backup that has potential and upside, you got to take one of those guys late.
Tom Brady, he's dating another model. Definitely has a type. He's dating Arana Shank, Bradley Cooper's ex. Tom Brady, to make this relationship work, what is the number one thing he must do?
Hey, we heard it from so many guests on this podcast. It's all about communication. I can't speak to the lifestyles that those rich and famous people have, but communication is universal, DK. If they can get the communication down, it could last, but I give it 6 months tops.
Shout out to Alonzo and PR, LAFC. 5 stars if you have time. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.